Meg, you've got a story, the anniversary of D-Day coming up, and you've got a story about a World War II vet in New Jersey. What do you got?
That's right. It's the 70th anniversary of D-Day this week, and so I met with a World War II veteran from New Jersey before he took a journey back to Normandy, France to pay his respects. So 87-year-old Alfred John Sippel, first-class seaman from Denville, New Jersey, joined the Navy when he was just 16, fresh out of boot camp. He turned 17 in January and was in Normandy that coming June.
I made a little promise to myself a long time ago that I wanted to go back and pay my respect to the guys who weren't as lucky as I was. And that's what I'm going to do.
This trip and the retelling of history for him was clearly emotional. But he started to tell me how his ship, which was headed for Omaha Beach, picked up men from a different ship to bring them along and described the conditions that they were under, which were just horrid.
It was a long trip, and these guys were tired and weary from being on that boat, cooped up there for a week, and they were soaking wet, and they were cold, and they were sick, and most of them should have been heading for sick bay instead of heading for that meat grinder.
As a brave young man, Sippel volunteered for a very important task. Mail for loved ones for men who were stationed out in the sea off of Normandy had been piling up.
He asked for volunteers, so I volunteered, and so anyhow, we went and got their mail and brought their mail out to them, and I was kind of glad that happened.
He teared up and got so emotional over this because this was probably the last piece of mail that these men ever received, ever got to read from loved ones. The youngest survivors of the June 6, 1944 Allied invasion are now in their late 80s, making this possibly the last large gathering of D-Day veterans. As we do on Chasing New Jersey, we want to honor and remember all of our veterans, and we thank Mr. Sippel for his service.
God bless the vets.
I love these stories, and I love applauding people, but I'm disgusted by the way this country treats our veterans. And whenever you see stories like that, you look at VA lacking in funding, you look at people who can't get the health care that they need. We need to celebrate them, but we also need to take care of them. The government needs to pay attention to this also.
It's a function of priorities. I mean, it goes back to where do you place your value? We've got so much bloat and waste and fraud in government that it's no surprise that sometimes the folks that we owe the most to get the least.